And my name is Janet Ellis, and I get to be with you today. So, I need to figure it out. Don't you need to figure it out? I need to figure out what happened on 9/11. I need to figure out why COVID was so big. I need to figure out why there is so much hatred in the world, even though we say we're one and we love each other. I need to figure out what in the heavens happened yesterday with Trump and the shooting. I need to figure it out. Do you need to figure it out? Thank God, Perry. I love it. So let me just say, the people in my galaxy are terrified, heartbroken, and exhausted, scrambling in their minds to figure things out. I just want to remind you, and thank you, Perry, figuring it out is not a good slogan, right? We can't always figure it out. There's no way to figure it out. And if we spend most of our energy trying to figure it out, who is being worn out? Not those that we're trying to figure out, but us, right? No one has a clue what's going to happen or what should be best. Of course, we want to know how this all shakes down right now. I know I do too. I want to know. I need to know. I think that's just the human need, is to know, because then that's the only way I can accept what's going on. It's the only way I can embrace what's going on. It's the only way that I can find the peace to myself and to be present for others. However, we tend to do certain things that get in our way. And you may not even be aware that you're sitting there trying to figure it out. Why did that one person die yesterday? I can't figure it out. What was the purpose? I don't know. And I'll never know. I'll never know why things happen the way they do. I'll never understand why certain people at a young age die before people of an old age die. Not that that's the way it's supposed to work, but you know what I mean, right? It's frustrating sometimes. There's this old New Yorker cartoon of two prisoners in leg chains and manacles several feet off the ground. And one of the prisoners says to the other, okay, here's my plan. When the guard comes in with our food, and he's trying to figure it out while he's hanging in the air. Yeah, okay. So my plan is not to try and figure it out. What I know, however, is that everyone is exhausted. Is anybody exhausted in here? Thank you. I know I am. My time and energy, and you know, guys, I'm really learning this big time right now for myself. I want to say yes to everything because life is too short, and there's so many things I want to do before I go. Of course, I'm living to 113, but that aside, I really, there's so many things. I want to go places. I want to see people. I want to visit old friends that I haven't seen in years. I want to find new friends. All these things I want to do. I'm so curious. And I think that's the figure out part that I struggle with the most. So, I dug up and retooled an old piece, bear with me, on dealing with exhaustion that was shared in the hopes that it might help. And I love this because I do this on a daily basis. So there's a guy by the name of Mark Yocanelli. He gave a spiritual retreat to 50 on rising up, on renewal and second winds in these catastrophic times. I don't know about you, but life has been very different since COVID. And probably before then, but I don't think I was aware of it at the time. And so it's just waking up and dealing with life in general. Sometimes it's hard. I know some of us didn't want to get up this morning and come to church because they're so tired, but they showed up. Yay! So, one woman who worked with children who had AIDS came from Africa to hear this spiritual teaching. Mark talked all morning about filling back up, about energy reserves that are released by curiosity and paradoxically service. Then he handed each participant a blanket and had them lie down for a nap like back in kindergarten. The woman from Africa was so furious with him for wasting her time. She had flown 10,000 miles to study with him. He tried to soothe her, but she stuck to the back of the room with her blankie. Everyone stretched out or curled up, closed their eyes, spaced out, and rested. The woman came over after the nap and told Mark, "I slept. I dreamed. I'm beyond exhausted, and I didn't even know it." How many of you don't have to raise your hand, I'm just saying, how many of you know that feeling? I do a lot of caretaking right now, and I am so blessed that I can do it. And many of you know, I have an aunt in Houston and a cousin in League City. Both are extremely ill, and both are in need of desperate help. And this aunt took care of me when I was younger, when my parents were not available. And so I make it my mission to go be with her as much as I can. Now, she's 87 years old. I love you, Aunt Janie. Don't think I'm talking about you bad. She's amazing. She has embraced all four of us kids when my parents weren't available. And so now she's my other mother. So it's my duty as her child to be there for her. She's 87. She's just diagnosed with scleroderma and Parkinson's. She also has a 63-year-old son bedridden in the guest room who had a massive stroke and can do nothing for himself. And she won't let anybody else take care of him. So I go when I can. And then his sister, who lives in League City, is legally blind from a stroke as well. I go when I can. I try every 2 weeks, maybe 3. And she calls when she needs help. I got a doctor's appointment. Can you drive me? I'm 2 weeks. Sure, I can be there. I'm there for you. And I found myself a few months ago starting to resent my journey. And I knew right then and there that was it. I had to stop. I needed to rest. My emotional and psychological level of rest was desperately needed. You guys, I come home, I work on talks, I do talks, I caretake, I do so many fun things too, and then I come home and I get my blankie and I take a nap. Every afternoon, I take at least an hour or 4, Lynn won't tell. As much as I can to rest. And I realize this now on working on this talk is that I am in bed. I got the best blanket, you guys. I swear I do. It's got affirmations all over it. And on the other side of the blanket underneath, it says, "You are so loved." And I wrap myself up in that blankie. It's almost as good as Lynn's hugs. Not quite, but almost. So, it's important that we take a look at why we're tired if we are, and what is making us that way. Is it physical? It could be. I'm loving my life right now. I'm going to tell on you, Pasquale. My dear friend Pasquale came up this morning. She's a yoga instructor, and I get to work out, do yoga with her 2 days a week. And then I have an instructor that I work out twice a week in working out physically. First time in my life, you guys, since November last year. I used to be a couch potato. If you got that couch potato, my photograph is there. I hated in high school when you had to do the president's work. Y'all, well, there's some in here old enough to remember, yeah. Chin ups, sit ups, whatever. Couldn't stand it. Anyway, so I love that I work out. And on one day during the week, I do the workout, I drive an hour to Pasquale, and I do yoga. And then I go home and take a nap. Because I can't do anything else. Then I get up and I go take a shower and still rest. I have to rest. You need to take a look at, are you resting? This is what I love. See, squirrel, I'm getting excited. Okay, so we're all tired of ourselves, maybe. We need fresh horses, if that makes any sense. We are exhausted in a brand new way, as I said, physically and psychically. We are wiped out by having been such good sports for so long. and mustering hope in the face of the way life is showing up right now. I know as a new thought person, I'm all about the positive. Now, reality is, no, everything's not in a perfect little basket with a bow on it and life is grand. I know there are issues. I know there's grief. I know there's anger. I know there's all these things. And I'm aware of that reality. But sometimes I'm just too damn nice. You know what I mean? I'm nice. I have been so, as growing up and changing my behavior and my actions, I was so depressed for so long that I didn't even know what happy and nice meant. And now that I do, I'm not going to lose it ever again. However, there are times that I have to stop and take a look at what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what's going on, and am I taking care of myself? Yes? Yes? Yeah. We are wiped out by having been such good sports. We're exhausted by the extreme burdening thoughts, by experiencing and trying to help the extreme suffering and death. We're all tired of ourselves to a certain extent. Kinda. I love me, but by God, I get my way all the time. We need fresh horses, but you know what? To paraphrase a past president, we're the fresh horses we need. Uh-oh. Yeah. Right? We're the horses. We're it, man. We are so it. Uh-oh. But you always have to start where you are, where your butt is, where your butt is right here and right now, and admit that you are sad and pooped. I'm sad and pooped, you guys. I really am. It's interesting because there are times when, in my process of learning and expanding and becoming more awake and more aware, I just can't take anymore. I'm telling on myself today. I have this bed. Not my bed in my bedroom. I have a bed. It's a dog bed, but it's human size. I promise. It's got a slot on the side for the remote control and everything. And when I'm not feeling right, God love Lynn. I look at him and go, you know where I'm going? And I pop open that bed and I get my blankie and I crawl in that baby because it's the safest, most comfortable grounding area for me. My God, my Gus, great universal spirit, Gus, whatever you call it, that's my time with that higher power. That I got to remember that the higher power is there for me. That I got to understand that I'm not by myself, even though I feel like I'm by myself sometimes. I feel like it a lot sometimes. So, again, you always have to start where you are and where your butt is. I wish I could give everyone a blanket to curl up with today, but most of you have little children or sick parents and deadlines to take care of. If it doesn't really help to remind people that this too shall pass, are you tired of hearing that? This too shall pass. Yeah. No negativity, just give us positive, and this too shall pass. Oh, great. Tell me that while I'm in the middle of it. But it will pass. And in the meantime, there are things you can do and not do. You can try to do less as a radical act. What a concept, huh? Cross off one thing you thought you needed to do each day. The world may keep on spinning if you don't manage to buy that pad of graph paper today. Maybe you will need a new packet of moist towelettes soon, but does it have to be today? I try to let myself do a few things way less perfectly than usual. Perfection is the voice of the enemy or the oppressor, which is this in here, telling me if you don't go do that right now, you're going to look weird. I say no a couple of times today. The aunt I spoke of, she called me and said she needed me, and I had to tell her no for the first time. I had to tell her no. And my reason for it is it's my birthday, and I want to go out of town for my birthday on the dates that she needed me to come. And so I didn't feel guilty for the first time ever, which was huge. I said, I want to celebrate me. You do what you need to do. I understand. I'm so sorry. No, don't even go there, Jan. She's feeling bad for me now, and I'm the one saying no to her. Anyway, so no is a complete sentence. I don't have to give excuses. I don't have to tell you why. But if I need to say no, I need to learn to say no. And this is a great one, you guys. This you might keep in mind. I have a friend that has a grandson in the 4th grade, and they have a condiment day every Thursday. Condiment day. Yeah, Nancy. Hold on. There's a reason. So, every Thursday they catch up. You had to catch up on some assignments. Then there's mustard. There are things you absolutely must do, things you couldn't put off any longer. And then relish. Something that you love doing. Something fun or silly or any activity that brought you pleasure. How many of you take the time to do that? Anybody in here knows how to play? I know you do. We've played together, we played together, we played together. You guys, I'm an adamant lover of bubbles. I mean, I in the trunk of my car, I carry bubble solution, and I have 2 trays and 5 wands. Because when I go to the park and I start bubbling, kids show up out of nowhere. And then I get mad because they're using my wands and my bubbles. It started back when my mom was in the hospital dying of cancer. I couldn't take it some days, so one day I decided to go to the dollar store, got a wand, got some bubbles, went to the park, and I lost myself in it. And then ever since then, I love to do bubbles. And some of the things they've come out today with the batteries and stuff where the bubbles go all over the place. I know how to have fun. If y'all want to hire me as a coach to teach you how to play, come see me because I can do it. I've been paid to teach somebody how to play. Who could ask for anything more? First thing I had them do is learn how to make bubble solution, and they couldn't do it, so they quit. I'm just saying, there are people out there. So, relish the joy and pleasure. So a walk around the hood, noticing people's gardens, running from them when they come at you with grocery bags heavy with tomatoes and zucchini because they're going to come after you if they got too much. I love that here. Every Wednesday at class, somebody walks in with tomatoes from the garden outside. Paying attention to real life as opposed to cable news. I was so frustrated last night. I am so thankful that Trump is okay. He is freaking lucky. Not blessed. He is blessed. I mean, and over every channel. I wanted to see Saturday Night Live last night, and I didn't get to see it because Trump got shot. Over and over and over and over. This morning we get in the car to come here. Over and over. How do you pray and get quiet with that going on constantly? Real life, you guys, relieves exhaustion because it awakens us. It makes us laugh. Laughter is a battery charge. Laughter, once again, is carbonated holiness. Ooh, I like that, carbonated holiness. I have a story about a time where my dear friend Beth and I went to Switzerland. We were in Switzerland. She lived there part-time, and so Len and I got to go visit. We're on a train ride. It's just Beth and I, and we're sitting there, and we're the two that you don't want to put in a quiet place where no laughter should happen because we do. So we're sitting there, and something happened. I can't even tell you what happened, but she starts laughing, which gets me triggered, and we're both going back and forth, snorting and all that stuff, right? And all of us, I'm leaning over because there's tears streaming, and I'm doubled over, and I sit up, and there's a lady across from us, and she's laughing. She doesn't speak our language. She's from Germany. But I look at her, and I started laughing harder, tears streaming, and she starts laughing. How incredible is that? I mean, seriously. It's so cool to watch kids be kids, right? Because we don't do that anymore. Well, I do, but most adults forget. They're too intense and serious. I see a couple out there that would be fun to play with, though. Laughter is the same in every language. So when I see a friend or a relative worn out, I intuitively know what to offer. And it's not, at that moment, it's not me caretaking so much as sitting down with them, offering them a cool glass of water, a chair in which to do the sacrament of ploppage. So they can sit down and just be for a moment. Aren't those great words? Ploppage. A bracing cup of coffee or tea, chocolate or a mandarin orange, a mandatory timeout. How's that? Hey, maybe we ought to do that with the blankie. We all need our own timeout chair. Would somebody send me there? I'll call one of you and say, will you send me the timeout, please? I try to help them keep the patient comfortable. And it reminds me to do this with my own baby self all day. She is in desperate need of love, entertainment, fun, joy, laughter, and she deserves it so much, and each one of you do as well. The glorious truth in all of this is we are very special, each and every one of us. And I know it's emphasized constantly, but if you could just take a deep breath together right now and hear it when I say that each and every one of you are so very special. Connecting with you all here at Church of One Love always gives me a second wind because it means we are together in this and we are connected. I so look forward to Wednesday classes and Sunday service. You have touched my heart in a way that nobody else has been able to, and I'm so grateful for that. This is the best possible news, and I thank God for you and your good hearts. So we got left foot, right foot, left foot, breathe. One more time. And just for now, which again is all we have. Thank you. Oh. So now, we get to do some ploppage. So again, if you all if you're willing, close your eyes gently. Uncross your legs, unload your laps. Just be here for you in this moment. Take a deep breath again. Inhale from the diaphragm and blow it out. And feel the safety and the love in this space. And breathe again. And know that you are not alone. Not just the people in this building, but the source within you. That dynamic, beautiful, loving, precious source that is in you. That energy that makes each and every one of us special and unique and loved. Because you are who you are. And in this moment, in that space of love and energy, just take a time out for you. We're going to take a time out for you to be with yourself and with that beautiful energy of love. And in the silence, take a moment to love yourself up. Remount, re-energize. And now, if you gently bring yourself back to the space Wiggle the toes and the fingers if you need to. Gently open your eyes. And in this present moment, know that you are so loved. And I am so blessed that you are here. Amen.